on YouTube. This is the first one I've done for a long time, and I am a little bit jittery, I'm going to admit. I haven't even basically advertised this. I just wanted to get on here and just get straight into it. Before I keep going, I am just going to set my alarm for 30 minutes so that I don't take too long here with you guys and take up your time. So, Alexa, set alarm for 30 minutes, please.
30-minute alarm set for 10:32 a.m.
Thank you very much. Right. My name is Beatrice Ajayi. I'm an artist based in Glasgow in Scotland, and I wanted to start sharing with you guys more here on YouTube and my other platforms to share what I get up to in the studio. I am just going to show you what my table looks like. So let's just turn you guys around and you can have a look at this table. Oh my word. How messy is this? But how much fun has been going on here today already. I have already actually spent time on my TikTok explaining some things. So let's share with you what I have been getting on with. I have been creating these art pieces on board. I will show you in a moment, but I have been framing them with these cute little frames that I want to put in my shop. I'm in two brick and mortar shops here in Scotland, in Glasgow and in Edinburgh, those two main cities. So this piece is called Twilight Reflections. Twilight Reflections. And I have been creating a whole range of abstracted landscapes, and I wanted to share the process of that. So these are to go into the shop. I was talking earlier on about some of my tools that I need to arrange, some of my brushes, because I want to be able to use more and more of my tools. And I have not been doing that. I bought a whole range of tools some time ago, and I want to start using them more. So like these are scraping tools. So I've got this whole desk here of art supplies that I had a list of I wanted to try out. So I have like my Stabilo woody pens. No, not pens, crayons. So these are water soluble and I wanted to try them out. So I have them here to do that. I also wanted to try out these. Let's see, let's just move some of this. Some more of these. These are water soluble crayons that I bought for my daughter, and I wanted to start using those because she's not using them anymore. But yeah, I have been creating these landscapes. This was one I was working on earlier today. And so I wanted to share some of that process with you here on the live because I really love the way that this painting looks. It was also really exciting to make. So as I said, I wanted to start using some of my substrates and mediums that I've not been using for a while. So these are some I'm going to actually work on. I'm going to paint over these pieces. So I have them here ready to go. Let's see, I'll do this one. So I will just hook you up here so you can see this as I get myself organized. If this is your first time here, my name is Beatrice Ajayi. I'm an artist based in Glasgow in Scotland, and I wanted to share a bit of my studio. Actually, there's quite a few of you that have joined right now, so I'll just show you the studio again. So this is what it looks like currently. I've got spray paints, I've got some tools I'm going to use, and I'm just going to get on with painting some landscapes. As I said, I've been painting this morning so far, and I'm going to get on with adding some more to the collection. Also, as I was saying earlier, is that once I finish painting them, I will be putting them in frames like this to put into my shops that I have in Glasgow and Edinburgh for sale. So I've been working on this pile here, and that is what I do in this art studio is I create my artwork, different kinds. I have stickers that I also design and create as well, and magnetic bookmarks as well. So especially for Scotland, I've got some themed stuff here for the Glasgow area. So these are some Kelpie bookmarks, and then I actually have some stickers as well, but different things that I design and I like to sell online. So yeah, let's get back to the landscapes that I've been painting. So I'm going to get straight into it so that you can see what I'm doing. So I've not done a live for a long time here on YouTube, so please bear with me. So we're going to cover this piece. It's an old piece and I don't want it anymore. So it's a style that I did quite a long time ago of a lot of my illustrated work. So she is going, let's see, I'm looking for my Persian blue. I have a whole bunch of paints all over the place on the studio floor here. It's not actually funny because I might end up falling over something. So just letting you know ahead of time. And I wanted to use this brush as well. I really love this brush and I haven't yet had a chance to use it. I've been using a whole range of ways of adding my paint to my canvases. So this is a very, let's say, hectic morning of adding work for you guys. I don't want to take too long being on here as well so that you can have time for yourselves, but I am enjoying working wet on wet, which I've always done, but I am using a whole range of tools right now. So I'm going to take some of this excess paint away because it's too much. I want to add some yellow in here or some orange. I need to decide which one it is. So I might do that with my spray paint. So I've got my range of spray paints I've been using today as well. This one is a water-based spray paint, so it isn't as toxic as you would get usually with some spray paints, but also obviously you don't spray it into your face. That wouldn't make any sense. But I'm going to spray this just off because I don't want to spray my phone. That's what I'm filming with. That will be terrible. So I'm going to add this. I think we shake them a little bit as well to get them to mix. So yeah, I like to share my process here and I want to do it more often with you guys. So I've just added that. Let me just close my spray paint. And what I've been finding actually with this is I love the way that my gesso is going to mix in with this. So let's see, how much am I going to add to this? So you get all sorts of effects when you are mixing. And sometimes, because if I want to get rid of this, if I think it's too much on my actual canvas, I will start to use other paper and press it on, scratch into it to make different designs. I'll take that off as well. Now I have another piece of paper. This is just like letter paper and it's got colors on it because I like to use collages as well. So I'll use different tools, scratching into it, getting different effects, really getting it to move. I think I want to add some turquoise in here. So let's see if I can find my turquoise paint. Or I have this. Let's see if this does anything because the woody might not necessarily mix in that heavily. I need to use the paint, but let's see. It's not as visible as I wanted to do, so I'm going to add some of my actual teal color here. I have such a variety of colors when it comes to the turquoise. I'm just going to add it in the corner somewhere and try blending that in and seeing what that looks like to add a different color into this. So I am trying to create a dramatic landscape inspired by Scotland here. So that's what I'm doing. Might add some browns as well. So it's layering and layering, and then we end up getting the landscape that we're looking for. And it's waiting to dry in between as well. Because if you don't basically do that, what ends up happening is you just smush all the colors together. So I'm trying to clean this a little bit. This one is like when I mixed it into this bottle that I use for squeezing out paint sometimes, I think it's not actually liquid enough. It's quite thick. So let's see. So the palette knife is good if you don't want to really get your other tools dirty. I tend to forget my palette knife and not actually wash it off, but you can always peel it off quite well. So I am putting an abstracted landscape in here with this. I'm going to use some more of my Persian blue because I really like that for bringing in a bit more value, like the difference in that is really good. So let's do that. So you end up seeing a bit more with that Persian blue. Let's cover this down a bit. And then I can start adding also like other colors, lighter colors in the roof here, in the sky. So when this would dry, I would be able to now add other elements into this. So, and then shape your landscape. But I like a lot of the colors here. I don't want to get rid of them the way that some of these are. So that is one example of one being started, and we're going to set this aside to let it dry. And start working on another one. So just going to go straight in here. Sometimes what you can do is work on just adding different colors and working on a lighter color into it. So I'm using this Woodies, Stabilo Woodies, and I'm going in. Let's add some pink from these water-soluble crayons as well. It just looks very abstract. I don't mind. I know a lot of people get scared and they think about working from a white canvas. And then another side is some people can't help but work that way. Then others don't like to use a busy surface, but I don't know, it helps me to just get started on some of these. So I'm not really bothered about that. So I am trying to get my landscape in here. As I said at the beginning, I'm painting over some of my older pieces that I didn't feel worked. So that is what is going on here. And I'm working this landscape in. So let's see. Sometimes you can keep what's behind, you scratch into it. Different techniques that I like to use in creating artwork. Just wash my brush off. You could let it dry a little bit if you wanted, but you can introduce so many different colors into this as well. So let's see. I'm just going to cover this so that it's not much of this left, but I don't want to waste it. So yeah, I have my YouTube channel here, and I thought I wanted to add some more for you guys by actually doing some more this year. So painting with you live and then you being able to ask me questions. I'm hoping that I can actually answer some of them. Let's see, from what I can see here, hello to you if you're new here. My name is Beatrice Ajayi, and it's great to have you here. I am playing in the studio today, and I'm just getting things in that I want to do, which is having fun with my supplies, creating abstracted landscapes, using my different tools I have here that I haven't used for a while, and trying to enjoy them, really. So that's what I'm doing. So now I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, what else could I add to this? I added a spray paint in the last one. So what could I do to make this sky a bit brighter? I'm going to add some of my spray paint to this, I think. Let's see. So if you've not had a chance to create artwork, I would encourage you to go ahead and do that. So let's see. I'm going to spray this just off so I don't spray. Oh. So that's what I have added into that corner. I've let it drip across. So that's quite interesting there. And then I can let this dry and then come back in and add some more to it once it is dry. So yeah. A lot of fun, really enjoying it. So creating abstract landscapes is so much fun, and I had all these boards that I've used. I think this is used for oil paint, and I don't want to use it for oil paint. I want to put my acrylics on it, so I'm tearing this layer off, because if you have oil paint and then acrylic, it doesn't work, because basically the paint will come off eventually. It won't be archival. So I made a direct executive decision to do that. So now I have a new piece. I could go ahead and put some, let's see, where's a palette knife? I could go ahead and put some gesso on this. So as I said, you can see the difference in this color. This is white and this is a creamy color, because this was white gesso that I put some of my orange, a hint of it, orange paint. You can put different colors to tint your gesso so that you don't have to basically have just pure white. And I can use my catalyst wedge here. So as I said, different tools I'm using, and so I'm just sealing in this that I've just taken off the top layer so that it's not too rough or porous as well, because it will drink a lot of the paint. So I'm using this to basically seal the back of that. So if you're first time here, hi and welcome. My name is Beatrice Ajayi. I am trying to share more on my YouTube of my art process. So welcome, and I am just prepping this board. I've got a whole range of them I decided to start working on, because I do sell my originals, and so it's more originals that I've been focused on selling recently, because I want to be able to, for people to have direct painting from me and to be able to enjoy art. So yeah, I will leave this aside to dry a little bit, but this is kind of where I've been heading with a lot of the artwork, is producing them and then being able to frame them. So I'll show you an example of what I've been framing. So this is an example of where we're going with these pieces that I'm creating, is to put it in a little frame like this, a 6x6 frame. And so I'm working on the sizes. I'm trying to consolidate my size of artwork these days so that they're more accessible. Also, I can work from layer to layer and not be kind of restricted. So like this one here as well, you can see similar size and also a lot quicker to put the layers down. So that is what I've been doing. So that is the intention. So this has been fun to do. Let's see. What other layer I can use? See, this is another one. Actually, I was going to clean my table because this looked a bit messy. Let's see. So it's just basically using layers and creating pieces. Let's see, some orange. I've not added some orange for a while. So I'm painting over this as well. And each layer I am trying to use different colors, experiment a bit more. And it's working abstract, working with the abstract. So this is landscapes. Sometimes I will work on kind of portraiture. Sometimes I will work, sorry there. I work with a whole range of different things. So subject matters. So that is what I do here. So recently the landscapes have been my priority. So I'm using my different tools and really getting into it, cutting into the landscape, working over older pieces of artwork. So this is the sky, but there's some green mixed in it, and that's fine. I sometimes carry the colors into the landscape. So then I've got some Prussian blue that I use to kind of outline where the landscape is. I like to do that. It also adds the value layer, which is like a darker, for you to just have the difference in tonal quality. So I want to add some of the, I've got orange there. I'm going to add some of this in. And I like using different mechanisms to get the ideas on. Let's see, what's this one? I think I needed to add more water to this. Let me just check this. Maybe not. And so I've got that in. What am I going to use to spread that around? I'm going to use my catalyst wedge here. So if it's just your first time being here, my name is Beatrice Ajayi. I'm an artist based in Glasgow in Scotland, and I love sharing my art process on my channel, so you can check out and see what else I get up to here on my channel. So you can see how that has changed quite a bit and has become really interesting and dynamic, and then we can scratch into it. We can do so many things with it. Let's see, this area here, I got this tool that is like a little rolling tool, so I could use that and get some idea of something in here, get some different marks. So I like that. I'm going to leave this alone to dry because I like the way it looks, and maybe that might be the dramatic way that the sky is and everything. And see what else I add to it. I might add collages when I come back to it. So let's see what else I can use. So I have a whole range of them here that I want to be creating artwork on. So I'm just going from one to the other. As I said, working in more than one piece helps you to really be free in the way that we're creating. This is another one that's got oil paint on it. I'm trying to figure out which side I want to use. So I am tearing off the oil paint layer, and I'm not being afraid of doing this because it's quite a strong board anyway. So I am just taking it off. So yeah, this is all just about the process for me right now, because the doing and the enjoying and having fun. So this has actually left some texture here. As I did before, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to put a layer of gesso on this. So I'm just going to get some more of my gesso, and I was saying that I added some color to the gesso, so it's not pure white. Like you can see here, this is white and this is the gesso, and that's because I added like a kind of what would I say, a kind of orange, or you can add blue into it if you wanted. You can do whatever you want. And so I'm just putting this layer of gesso onto the card that I've just peeled back, and I will leave it aside to dry and paint the landscape on that. So that's all I'm doing here today, is just spending time in the studio and just building all these layers. And it's so much fun because I am not thinking too much about what I'm doing. I am just going through the process and responding to the marks that I make. I love creating artwork. I love creating abstract because it's like zooming in on the detail. That's the way I see abstract art. So I've got that there. I'm going to let that dry. Really hoping I'll be able to walk in this studio at some point, because the layers are building up behind me of paint on the floor, paintings on the floor. So I've got this background. I'm going to go in again. Actually, I have my heater here that I can use to just blast this a little bit. It might be a bit noisy, just to get it to be a lot drier. And I'm working with acrylic paint, so it works really fast. It dries faster, but this is quite a layer, so just bear with me. So yeah, here we go. But one thing is like setting up the studio so that everything is accessible. This is what I've been trying to work on. So being able to dry this like this, have my water, have my paints around me, is really key to being efficient in your creativity and not being interrupted. So I'll give it a big blast, a little blast, and then I'll keep talking about some other stuff while that's drying. So I'll just take this layer off as well. So the reason I'm taking this off are because there were oil paintings that I was trying to do, and I cut down the pieces, and I am not using oil on this anymore. So I'm using acrylic paint, and acrylic paint over oils is not a good idea because it won't be archival, it will peel off. So you can do oil, you can do acrylic paint and then oils, but not the other way around. So that is what I've been doing here. I'll just put this back to the side and put a layer of gesso over this one. So the same process I've been doing with the other ones is over here. So as I was saying before, my name is Beatrice Ajayi. I'm an artist based here in Glasgow in Scotland, and I wanted to be able to spend more time with you guys. I've just set a small time aside for this, and I'm just gonna keep on going because I am having fun. Sometimes I sit and I watch some of the YouTubers I love to watch, and while they're creating art, I'm so itching to create my own artwork. It really inspires me, but I really want to figure out how to make it more efficient for me to be able to paint with my feet up sometimes. But I'm enjoying this. This is me in the studio playing. And I'd said that I wanted to use some of the tools I haven't used for a while, so that is what I'm doing. So I've been trying to plan my days like that, where I basically just come into the studio and I can get on with the ideas. You know, I know what I'm going to do. I wanted to use my soluble water paints, so the woody paint, woody stabilo, and also this water crayons, water soluble crayons. So that is what I'm doing, and then my spray paint as well. So I'm just getting on with it. So let's start another landscape straight in there. This is a lot drier, so I'm building my background here for what I want to do. I'm going to throw some of that into the sky as well. I want to have some orange in here as well. I was using a lot of saturated fluorescent colors, but what I have decided is to start trying to use my other colors and get similar kind of outputs. So that is what I'm doing right now, is to play with my other colors a bit more and not rely on saturated fluorescent colors only. So I'm just going with the way things feel, the process, really digging into the details of painting and scratching into layers, and just so much fun. Right, let's see. I feel like I want to add a pink. This is what happens, is like you just get into a place where you start seeing what colors you want to add. So let's see if I want to add a pink into this. So this is an abstracted landscape that I'm working on. Let's see, I've not added any of the gold leaf. Let me try that now. So I have some leaf colors here. I have not used the silver that much, so I think I might use some of the silver. And I just kind of stick it in. So I've just been laying it down and just having fun with that and telling myself I've added some gold leaf and things into the painting. So for me, it's about the process at the moment, just playing, going in and adding different mediums, seeing how they respond. I want to get used to using more of the gold leaf, and so that's what I'm doing. And as I said, I'm using different tools, so this is going in as well. Adding some of that in the sky. I like that. Oop, I think that's my time run up for how long I wanted to be on here. Alexa, stop. So I'd kind of set my time for how long I was going to be on here. So that's my alarm telling me that my time has run out. But yeah, I will hopefully be doing more of these lives. Maybe tomorrow again I'll come back on here. Maybe every day I'll just get myself on here for the 30 minutes and paint with you guys. So this has been fun actually. So I'll look forward to another session. Yeah, I like this. I like this a lot. Let's add some of the cream color down here. Right, so I'm basically working on abstracted landscape and having a lot of fun doing it. And let's see if I use one of these tools, because I wanted to try this before, so let's see what this looks like. Look at that, scratching into it. That is so fun. Oh my goodness. That is really fun. And then if I get some kind of detail into that. And then also I like to just use the excess to add some other dynamic into other areas. So that is fun. So let's see where it goes. I'll let that dry and then I'll work on other pieces. So my name is Beatrice Ajayi. I'm an artist based in Glasgow in Scotland. And on my YouTube channel, I love to share my art process and what I get up to. So I have been trying to organize myself to do these lives for a while, and I think I'll be doing it at least once a day. So that would be fun to do, to give myself that target to do them live. So thank you so much for joining me. I will see you guys tomorrow, hopefully, and have a great day. And I will speak to you guys again. Bye for now, guys. So let me just turn this around. So yeah, guys, that was me basically working on some of my artwork today. So I'll see if I can download this. Thank you very much for your comments. Thank you. And so check out my art channel and see what else I get up to. And I also have links to my TikTok there as well. You can see some more of what I've been doing. And I'll speak to you guys tomorrow. I'm hoping to do another one of these half-hour sessions tomorrow morning again. Yeah, sharing my process. So I'm trying to figure out how to switch this off. This is so funny. But yeah, see you guys. Enjoy your day. See you guys.